There's something different about leaving a city by water. Arriving is one thing. You're curious, alert, taking everything in. But leaving makes you notice things differently. You slow down. You look longer. You remember more. This morning, Seville feels like that, quiet and unrushed. The river is calm, the ship is steady, and the city behind us is waking up like it has nothing to prove. And maybe that's because it doesn't. Because for centuries, this wasn't just a place people arrived. This was a place people left. If you stood here 500 years ago, this river wouldn't feel peaceful. It would feel tense. Ships lined up along the banks, crews preparing supplies being loaded, and no one fully certain of what lay ahead. Because leaving Seville didn't mean heading to another city. It meant heading into the unknown. This river was the last piece of certainty, the last stretch of land, the last moment where everything still made sense.
So this wasn't just a port, it was a starting line.
Exactly. And not just for trade, for exploration, for risk, for stories that hadn't been written yet. And if you wanted to control that movement, you controlled this. The Torre del Oro, a 13th century tower sitting right along the river. It wasn't built for decoration, it was built for control. At one point, a massive iron chain stretched across the river from this tower. If a ship didn't have permission, it didn't pass.
So this was basically the world's most intimidating "do not enter" sign.
It definitely. Except instead of a sign, you had a chain, and a very clear understanding that turning around was not optional. But here's where Seville does something unexpected, because the real story of exploration isn't out at sea. It's stored right here, inside a building called the Archive of the Indies. This place holds over 80 million pages of documents, maps, logs, letters, and records from explorers like Columbus and Magellan. So while ships were out there discovering the world, this city was quietly recording it.
So the adventure happened out there, but the story stayed here.
And that's what makes Seville different. It didn't just send people out into the unknown. It made sure their stories came back. And then there's one of the most symbolic details in the city. Inside the cathedral, Christopher Columbus is buried, but not in the way you'd expect. His tomb is carried by 4 figures, each one representing a kingdom of Spain. And here's the detail most people miss. One of the figures has a polished foot.
Let me guess. People touch it for luck.
Of course they do. Because if you're about to leave on a journey, you take all the luck you can get. But even today, this river still demands precision. It's not wide, it's not simple, and it doesn't forgive mistakes. Water levels change, currents shift, and navigating it still requires skill, even for a modern cruise ship.
This is the part where I stop asking questions and just trust the captain.
That's a very solid strategy. Because before we leave, the ship has to turn, right here, on the river. And slowly, everything begins to shift. The skyline moves. The bridges slide across your view. The city rotates until suddenly, we're facing the opposite direction.
That feels way too smooth for something that complicated.
That's usually a sign someone knows exactly what they're doing. And that's the moment it changes. We're no longer arriving, we're leaving. And Seville doesn't try to hold you. It doesn't chase your attention, it lets you go. But somehow, that makes it stay with you.
I think that's what I'll remember. Not one place, just how it felt.
And that's what makes a place matter. All right, let's see if you were paying attention. Seville became one of the most powerful trade cities in the world because of this river. But what made it so valuable? A, it was the longest river in Spain. B, it was fully navigable from the Atlantic inland. C, it contained large gold deposits. D, it connected directly to major European capitals. Drop your answer with #QuizzesWithFlair and share this with your friend. The lights of Seville are fading behind us. The river opens ahead and the journey continues. But tomorrow, we step into something completely different. A new place, a new rhythm, a new story. So if you've been enjoying this journey, stay with us because curiosity never travels alone.
We have a winner, and I am not being chill about it. Someone just took that leaderboard apart like it was light practice. Moves were intentional. Timing was locked. Confidence, unbothered. Big congrats to our champion. You absolutely showed out. Your notification is about to land quicker than a live patch update. Keep an eye on your comments. We'll grab your details and get that prize moving your way. Smooth process, zero chaos. Didn't see your name this round? Don't switch tabs on us. This isn't a one-off highlight. It's an ongoing storyline, and the next chapter is about to drop. fresh reset, clean board, new energy. So power up those fingers, because the next spotlight, it might land right on you. No hesitation, no slow reactions, no watching from the sidelines. Stay bold, stay sharp, stay locked in. Let's see who takes it next.